Oh, hello everyone, and welcome to this Google Hangout. Sorry for the delay, there has been some technical problems. I would like to thank Space India for having invited me to this Hangout and present my work. I'm Daniela De Paulis, I'm a visual artist, and I work in collaboration with Astronomers Without Borders. And I'm the founder and director of the Astroarts program, which is the art and cultural program for AWB. Today I would like to talk a little bit about the program, and you're very welcome to ask questions, so I'll start immediately. I would like to tell a little bit about the way we started the cultural program for Astronomers Without Borders. That happened around April 2010, when I proposed to AWB to present my project, which uses a technology called moonbounce. The technology allows sending signals to the moon and back using 2 or more radio stations on Earth, and was initially developed by the US Navy in the 60s. The technology was used as a form of espionage tool also during the Cold War, and currently it's used by radio amateurs all over the world to communicate with each other. When I had the idea of developing an art project using this technology, I got in touch with the cameras team at the Dwingelo Radio Telescope in the north of the Netherlands. This is me with a team of radio amateurs. And together we developed a performance, a live performance, during which we send images to the moon and back in real time. The task, however, proved to be quite challenging. In fact, for radio amateurs, this was something completely new. It has never been done before in ham radio, and usually, in fact, the moonbounce technology is used for exchanging voice signals or Morse code signals. So visual data were something quite challenging. I started working immediately with my collaborator, Jan van Mavleik, who transmitted this very image to the moon, receiving it back after 2.5 seconds with this result. This was on the 6th of December 2009. So we continued developing the technology, and eventually we started receiving very good images of the moon. I will show you some examples in a few minutes. The performance which I developed with the technology is called Optics. I borrowed the title from the essay, well-known essay by Isaac Newton, which describes his findings on light reflection and refraction. In fact, I wanted to create a parallel between the artwork and the way radio waves and light waves work. So in the project, in optics, in the live performance, for me, radio waves are working like light waves. So every time a radio station on Earth sends the images to the moon, the radio waves are reflected and refracted by the moon's surface, scattered all around the space, and only a small percentage of those radio waves are received back on Earth by the Dwingelo Radio Telescope. So they really work like light waves. And here is an example of a moonbounce visual file. So the title of the project received Off the Moon. The original background was completely white, and the title black, and you see now the distortion caused by the long journey, approximately 800,000 kilometers, that the radio waves have to cross in order to get to the moon and back. There are also other reasons why the data get lost during the journey, so there is also a lot of science behind the project. The project has been shown in many events, and of course Global Astronomy Month has been presented already 3 times during Global Astronomy Month in 2010, 2011 and 2014. So we are hoping to present it again next year, 2015, the year of light, so even more appropriate for a GAM event. And these images are from the Global Astronomy Month 2014. Usually before the live performance, I send an open call for images, and people from all around the world usually send images of friends, family, and this particular time I asked for images that were somehow artistic, and I received some very interesting ones, like this is by an Italian photographer called Giorgio De Finis, and this is how the image looks like after traveling approximately 800,000 kilometers. And usually at the back of the card, after the performance, I print the moon-bounced images and send them as a postcard to the original sender. So it's a sort of cosmic mail art event. And at the back, I write a message, a personalized message, which confirms the effective journey of the image to the moon and back. So there is always the performance creates an interesting exchange between the public, myself, the radio amateurs, and the AWB community, and it's been very successful so far. This is another image submitted by an artist called Gianni Piacentini, living in Rome. And this is the result of the image after the transmission. All the performances are recorded on YouTube. They are presented as a Google Hangout event, so you can watch them. There are some examples also of the videos on the project website, which is optics.info. So the performance allowed me to meet Mike Simmons, the director of Astronomers Without Borders, and to start my ongoing collaboration with them. So after the successful event of optics in 2010, we decided to develop an art program which could bring astronomy from a different perspective, that of a cultural and not just a science perspective. So in 2011, I worked with Thilina Hinatigala, who was the former communication manager for Astronomers Without Borders, and we officially launched the program. Before I speak a bit further about the Astroarts program, I would like to give a very brief introduction about Astronomers Without Borders for those of you who might not be familiar with it. The AWB was founded in 2007 in California and has affiliate groups in more than 100 countries. So it's really a very international program, and we're proud to include also countries in developing areas like Africa, and South America and so on. There are many partners collaborating with AWB, some of which are professional scientific partners, and some are astronomy clubs. And this is really the interesting part, in my opinion, of AWB, because it allows the community also in areas which would normally be sharing their activities with a global audience to participate. So it really reaches also small communities, and that's what makes a difference with other big outreach programs. There are many projects as part of AWB, World at Night, Remote Observing Project, Global Star Party, also sharing of resources and telescopes. Global Astronomy Month is the biggest program for AWB. It takes place every year in April. Also, we have Astro Poetry and Astroarts, which are the two cultural projects. Astroarts is a collaboration. I'm the founder together with Tilina Hinatigala, and there are other collaborators from around the world. Richard Clark, an artist based in France, Kathleen Horner, who is based in the US and who is in charge of the Astrocraft program, which is also part of Astroarts, but looks a bit more specifically at the craft aspect. And we have Matthew Whitehouse, an American composer, and Robert Eklund, who is the director of the Astro Poetry program. During the Astroarts event, a program we have, as part of the Astroarts program, we have two separate projects, let's say. One is the Artist of the Month. So each month we have a fellow artist who presents her or his work throughout a series of blog posts and videos. And our very first guest artist was Dr. Fiorella Terenzi, who is a well-known astrophysicist and also a sound designer, a composer. And she presented her work with radio astronomy and her music compositions called Music from the Galaxies. I would like to play some short clips from this sound piece in a few minutes, if the connection will allow me to do so. And the current Astro artist for October-November is Dan Durda, who is part of the International Astronomical Artists Association, that very often showcases their artists' work on our platform. So the interesting things about Astroarts, which in my opinion differentiates this program from other arts and outreach program, it's the fact that we present all kinds of art. So from choreography, film, music, visual arts, and also we prefer a global approach. So we try to present artists who are not only well known to the public, but also in their early career stage or completely unknown, even amateur artists, even if their work is interesting, and also people from the experimental art field as well as from the illustration and painting fields, which are considered usually a bit more traditional. So you can find a wide range of art expressions in our program. The other part of the Astroarts program is the Global Astronomy Month section. So we devise every year a special program composed of live events, live performances, concerts, and Google Hangout. This screenshot is from a Google Hangout from GAM 2013, which was incredibly interesting and successful. We had the screening of the Overview Effect film by the Planetary Collective. The Planetary Collective has been working with the Overview Institute for the making of this movie, which has been presented in many locations worldwide. And here we have Frank White talking about his project, the Overview Effect, and also we had astronaut Ron Garan, who also spoke about the Overview Effect, and artist Richard Clark, who has been working for many years with the space scientists. So this was a successful event, in my opinion, because it brought together artists and scientists from professional fields in a very engaging discussion. This is from Aurora Borealis, is from GAM 2014, which is just been, of course, it's finished, but it's the most recent GAM. And the live performance called Aurora Borealis is a live concert by Angelina Jershkova and Stefano Giovanardi. And the event was a reading of a travel journey into the Aurora Borealis landscapes, together with experimental music by Angelina Jershkova. There is a trailer that I would like to show again in a few moments, and also we are now selecting the projects for Global Astronomy Month 2015. So we are looking for global projects. By global, we mean projects that can be shared with the audience worldwide by the internet. So perhaps live performances adapted for the web, like the two examples I've shown, like Optics and Aurora Borealis, which are especially designed for web streaming. Also, we are looking for art projects that can directly involve the AWB community. So if you have any ideas and you would like to submit a project proposal, please send it to this email address, astroarts@awb@gmail.com. Okay, I would like now to move on to the video screenings. I will try my luck with the connection, as it's been a little bit unreliable this morning. So I will try. If it doesn't work, I will just move on to your questions if there are any. Okay. I assume we're still on screen sharing. Yes, okay. Here, okay. This is it's a sample of optics presented for a radio station in Italy, and this is how usually you will see the images loading up during the live performance. So I will just keep this music video on for about 1 minute. Okay. So this was a short excerpt from my live performance, and it kind of gives you an idea of what the images look like when they return from the moon. The images are always submitted by the public, so we don't really know what we receive each time. And in this case, people submitted lots of artworks from well-known artists. I will move on to the next video. This is the Astro concert by Angelina Jershkova and Stefano Giovanardi. I would like to just show you the trailer of this interesting project, which will be presented again during GAM 2015. Okay, so sorry, bear with me. I will start the screen sharing again. Okay, enjoy. Okay, I hope the audio was fine. Last one is the sound, short sound piece by Fiorella Terenzi that will give you hopefully an idea of another kind of artworks that we presented. This is from her well-known album called Music of the Galaxies. So I will start again the screen sharing option. Okay. So this just gives you an idea of her work. She combines sounds collected from from radio telescopes into musical compositions, what we call experimental music. And she recently worked with the fashion designer Ermenegildo Zegna, an Italian fashion designer, creating music for his catwalk. And I would highly recommend to watch her video on YouTube. Just go on Fiorella Terenzi and you'll find her work listed in more detail. I will now see if there is any question. Okay. What are the encapsulating and tunneling techniques used in sending signals from Earth to celestial neighbors? Are they the same as data communication on Earth? Yes, in a way, moonbounce, for example, if you're referring in particular to the moonbounce technology, it is the early version of artificial satellite transmission. So the radio waves are transmitted to the moon and reflected back, just like what happens with artificial satellites and also radio transmission from NASA. So the moonbounce technology is always considered the first form of space travel. So it's the first step of the space race, and also is considered the ancestor of artificial satellites. How long does it take for radio waves to travel to the moon and back from spacey aim? It takes 2.5 seconds. It's 800,000 kilometers crossed in traveling at the speed of light. So it's approximately 2.5 seconds, and we receive the reflection of the images after that time. And I would like to know more about the optics program. Thank you, Rahul Verma, for your question. You can find a lot of information on the website, which is optics.info. It's actually optics with the CK, just like in Newton's essay. I borrowed the same title, so it's the old-fashioned way to say optics. And you can always email me, the same email that I posted on the presentation, which is astroartsawb@gmail.com. If you have any specific question about the program, we can present it usually only during 2 or 3 months during each month because of the moon conditions, so it cannot be presented as a live event every day. So it's quite sophisticated, also scientifically. I think there are no more questions. At least I don't see them yet. So maybe I will wait for another few seconds, see if any more questions come up. And also, I think I had some on my email. Okay. Do you also organize any Astroarts installation programs in India? I would love to. India is definitely on my wish list, and I will present optics in India as part of the Story of Light, which is a festival organized by several partners internationally, and so this will be around the end of January. I will put the exact date on my website. So for other programs of the Astroarts project, we usually post everything on the Astronomers Without Borders website so that everybody can view it from all around the world, including, of course, India. Okay, I think the questions are finished. Just check. Okay. Right. I'll just double check to see if I didn't miss any. The questions are very interesting. Okay, I think I answered all of them. So I would like to thank again Space Outreach for inviting me, and I'm always happy to further collaboration with science and outreach programs. So please get in touch for any suggestion or feedback. Thank you. Bye.